Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's Brent Oliver, and today we are going to do some NBA power rankings. We're about a quarter way through the season, and I thought, you know what? Let's get away from the NFL. Let's start some NBA. I'm a real big Celtics fan, so we're going to have a little bit of bias here. So, without further ado, let's get into it. First off, we got the Spurs. We're going straight into tank for Wemby. If you don't know, Victor Wembanyama, he's going to be the first overall pick this year. He's a freak. And San Antonio Spurs might get him. They're going to be the number one overall team in the lottery. They're going to have the best chance to get the number one overall pick because they are absolute trash. So moving over to the Lakers. The Lakers this year, they've been playing a little bit better, so I'm going to put them in the mid. But they started off really bad. But overall, when you got LeBron and Anthony Davis on the court at the same time, I mean, you can pretty much beat any team. The Washington Wizards, we're going lottery team. They're trash. Bradley Beal, I feel so bad for him. He's getting his career wasted in Washington. Not too much to say about the Washington Wizards. Philly, we're going finals contenders. Philly has looked really good this year. Joel Embiid is playing out of his mind. Tyrese Maxey is playing great. They got a bunch of good role players. I mean, Tobias Harris is still a star, but the 76ers are playing awesome. Chicago Bulls, we're going mid. They've been playing really bad recently, but they've had a lot of injuries, so I'm going to keep them in mid. When they're healthy, they're one of the better teams in the East. They should make the playoffs if they get healthy through the rest of the year, but I'm not too sure about that. Moving on, we got the Boston Celtics. This is going to be our first elite team in the NBA. I think the Celtics are amazing this year. They're the best offensive team in NBA history so far, and they're still top 15 in the league in defense. Jason Tatum might be an MVP candidate this year. He's playing out of his mind. And honestly, Jaylen Brown is playing a lot better. Cleveland Cavaliers, we're going to go mid. They're one of the better teams, but they're still really young. Evan Mobley's really good, and Darius Garland are really good. But honestly, other than that, they don't really have that great of a team. That's why they're going to be in the mid category. Denver Nuggets, we're going to go finals contenders. They're one of the better teams in the East, and Nikola Jokic is still proving every single game why he's one of the better players in the NBA. Should be an MVP candidate this year, and plus they're just getting better with Jamal Murray. I think Denver's really, really good this year, and they should contend for the finals in the West. Pacers, we're going to go mid. Tyrese Halliburton, no, let's drop him. I'm sorry. Other than Tyrese, they got nobody. Tyrese Halliburton, if y'all don't know who he is, look him up, watch some games. He's amazing. He's one of the best point guards in the NBA. Came over from the Sacramento Kings in the trade last year, and he's just been playing out of his mind this year. He's averaging 20 points and 10 assists a game. He's one of the best point guards, and I just feel really bad for him. He's a young player, and he's getting his career wasted by Indiana. Detroit Pistons, we are going lottery team because they are so bad. They got a lot of young talent, but they just cannot put it together this year. A lot of their young players have gotten hurt, but it's the NBA, like the young players got to step up. Cade Cunningham's amazing, but other than that, again, a lot of these lottery teams just have really one good player and a bunch of trash around them. So Detroit Pistons, you're looking at a lottery pick this year. Sacramento Kings, we're going tank for Wemby. They are absolute garbage. Oh my, I can't even watch the Sacramento Kings. It's like watching a G League team. It's really sad, honestly. But tank for Wemby. Hopefully they get Wemby and change their franchise. Memphis Grizzlies, we are going to finals contenders. Ja Morant is absolutely nuts. Ja Morant's one of the best point guards, if not the best point guard in the NBA, and he is a highlight machine. Ja Morant just makes highlight after highlight and continues to lead the Memphis Grizzlies to the top. They are one of the best teams, and they've dealt with a lot of injuries, and they're still playing out of their minds. I love the Memphis Grizzlies, and I think they're going to contend for finals this year. The Jazz, I want to put them in finals contenders because they've been doing really, really well, but I'm going to put them in mid. They're the best mid team out there, for sure. Lowry Markkanen, insane. I love Lowry. But they just don't really have a lot of great players. The Jazz are for sure playing above their caliber. They were one of the lowest ranked teams coming into this year, and now they're playing really great. It's just crazy how the NBA is. But again, I'm going to put them in mid. I just don't see them contending for the finals. The Warriors are for sure going up here at the top of the finals contenders. Coming off of an NBA championship, the Warriors are playing really, really well right now. And honestly, their record doesn't show it, but they've been playing against a bunch of great teams. The Warriors, again, are one of the best teams in the NBA. I wouldn't put them in the elite category. That's saved for maybe two teams, but I still think that they can contend for a finals and possibly win the finals this year. Minnesota Timberwolves, we're going lottery team. They're, again, really bad. just not a great team. Going to look at a lottery pick this year and hopefully change their franchise around. Same thing with the Charlotte Hornets. I mean, LaMelo isn't even playing. It's just really bad for them. I feel bad, but hey, it is what it is. The Brooklyn Nets, we're going mid because they just haven't put it all together this year. I mean, really, like Kevin Durant, awesome, great player. He's probably the most talented player in the NBA, but he can't do it all on his own. Kyrie Irving hasn't played a lot this year because of all the, off the court stuff. And really, the Nets should be better than what they are, and they're just not. Kevin Durant continues to put this team on his back, and it's still not enough. I feel so bad for the Nets. The New York Knicks, we're going mid. They are super mid. They're probably the middest of the mid. They are like the mid of the mid. They're RJ Barrett, very mid player. He perfectly explains the New York Knicks. Oklahoma City Thunder, we're going lottery team. I don't see them doing anything. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is one of the best players in the NBA, and it's so sad because he's getting his career wasted. Like a lot of these other teams right here, great players getting their career wasted. Maybe trade them. I don't know. The Atlanta Hawks, we got to go mid. Trae Young's doing great this year. John Collins is awesome, but they just don't have a lot around him. I mean, really, like those two guys alone, they're going to be great, but in the future especially, but I just don't see them doing it this year. It's tough. The New Orleans Pelicans, we're going a little bit mid too. I mean, Zion, when he plays, he's amazing. One of the best players. Brandon Ingram, also a great player, but that's really it. You only got two guys that are really great, and it's tough. It's really tough out here. Toronto Raptors are for sure mid team. A lot of these mid teams are just, they got two or three great players. It's crazy. These two guys, you got zero great players. These, you got one great player, and these, you got two great players, and then you got a whole team here. You got all good players buying in and playing well. So, Toronto Raptors, you got OG Anunoby and Pascal Siakam. That's pretty much it. I mean, other than that, it's not really a ton of great stuff going on, Houston Rockets, lottery, for sure. Jalen Green's awesome, but again, everybody else just so bad. Dallas Mavericks, we are going finals contenders, high-end finals contenders. They are one of the best teams in the NBA, especially with Luka on the court. Luka is by far the best player in the NBA this year, in my opinion, and he's just carrying the Dallas Mavericks. I think that they are the scariest team in the Western Conference to go against in the playoffs just because they have Luka Doncic. And Luka's the type of guy that doesn't give a shit about anybody else. He doesn't care about anyone. He will score 40 points on your head and let you know about it. The Miami Heat, they are for sure finals contenders this year. Went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. And really, Jimmy Butler is leading this team. They just came off a huge win against the Celtics. And, it's crazy because they're dealing with a lot of injuries as well. And they're still playing at a high level. Jimmy Butler, really one of the best players in the NBA, carrying this franchise, and they should make a run in the playoffs. The Phoenix Suns, same thing with them. Devin Booker and Chris Paul are still doing their thing out in Phoenix. It's just absolutely insane that Chris Paul is one of the best point guards in the NBA at his age. And Devin Booker is coming into his own this year. Just scored 51 the other night. He's playing out of his mind. And Phoenix is looking like they're going to be prime playoff contenders in the Western Conference. The LA Clippers, we're going to go mid just because of their record. Maybe probably above the Knicks, below the Nets, somewhere around there. Chicago Bulls, you're going way back here, bud. But with the Clippers, you still have the opportunity of Kawhi coming back. Paul George has been playing great this year. John Wall looks great. So it's really up to if Kawhi can come back and play amazing. He's dealt with a lot of injuries. He hasn't even played really in 2 years. He's played 5 games in the last 2 years. And that's just not going to do it. I mean, you're literally paying a guy to sit on the bench, and he's one of the best players in the league. Other than that, the Clippers, they don't really have much going on. They got to be in the mid category just because of that. The Portland Trailblazers, they might be finals contenders this year, honestly. Damian Lillard, he's been playing great. He had him really, really hot at the beginning of the year, and they've cooled off a little bit since. But hey, Damian Lillard, never count that guy out. He's one of the best players in the league. And he is going to carry this Portland team. He's always dangerous in the playoffs. He can score 50. He can score 40. He can drop 12 threes on you. He's just insane. The Milwaukee Bucks, Yeah, you know where they're going. They're going elite. They're the second best team in the league this year. Giannis is absolutely insane. And then Chris Middleton's coming back. So they are getting their second best player back, and they're still looking like the second best team in the NBA. They might end up being the best team this year, and I would not be surprised if that happened. The Orlando Magic, they are going to be possibly the number one overall pick in back-to-back years. They just do not have anything this year. Paulo Banchero's doing good, but other than that, I mean, that's really it. Wendell Carter Jr. is all right, but yeah, it's a lot of bad in Orlando. I think they have like 6 wins on the year. They're definitely going to be in the tank for Wemby, scenario. All 3 of these teams, their only chance of revitalizing their franchise is if they get Victor, and if they do, it'll be good for them. All right, guys, this is my final rankings. They're not really in any order, but these are just kind of the tiers of which the teams I think they're at. I'm looking forward to talking more NBA, and please, if you like the video, please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more content. All right, peace.